quick question in terms of Gary's leadership now, in terms of opening on the question of paying athletes. He starts with a modest sum, saying $200 a month. I wonder what your thoughts are about paying the student athletes in the revenue-generating sports.
I think it would be great. I'm less hung up on paying them as I am the idea that we need to rethink the principle of amateurism. Amateurism in college athletics is considered a bedrock principle of the endeavor. It has never existed. It doesn't exist now. It didn't exist from the first day when it was brought up in 1905. It doesn't exist. And right now, the enterprise raises billions of dollars. And the only ones that are cut out from it are the players. I'm not saying that the schools have to make them employees and pay them. I'm saying that the Olympics gave up on amateurism. And what do we know that sort of the Olympic ideal gave up on? And I think the answer is we can't justify it. That, you know, you ask anybody with the NCAA, say, why is amateurism a bedrock principle? And they don't have an answer. And if you look in the rule book, the NCAA rule book, or go on the website, nowhere is amateur defined. Amateur is just, all they say is, you can't take this, you can't take that. They don't say amateur as if it's the bedrock principle, you'd think you could say amateur, here's what it means, and you can't. Reasonable minds can differ on this. You know, I know a lot of smart, good people who think that there's no way that the kids should get anything. But they're already getting scholarships. So, you know, when the NCAA will try to justify amateurism, they'll say that, well, they're getting an education that's worth up to $100,000. Well, but that's already compensation. So you're saying we can compensate it, but nobody else can.
We can't put money in their pocket.
Yeah, that
to help
doesn't.
Like a stipend. The graduate students, you give graduate students stipends, and they generate. What do they generate?
I think it's time that we had a reasonable debate about it, and we decided what are the principles and why. Like, let's set down, why do we think amateurism is so important when the rest of the game is unbelievably commercialized?
Yeah.
And if you want to have some fun, go back and look at NCAA legislation just on stationery rules. Like, you know, how many colors they can have on their stationery. Can they put their name on their stationery? Can it be note cards? Can it be fold-over cards? You know, and how many phone calls they can make. And you can give the kids fruits, nuts, and bagels, but you can't have a spread for the bagels. You can't have peanut butter or cream cheese. You know, it's the whole thing's crazy.
That's amazing.
And
the education.
We need to rethink it.